Hi class, I'm Chandan Ram. I'm here to present my paper review. This paper review is about early prediction of students' grade point averages at graduation. Coming to the first slide, it deals about data mining. Data mining means process of extracting information from database by using different tools. Data mining have large range of applications, that is marketing, in manufacturing, in the educational research, and in many fraud detections and many more. We can also say that data mining can also discover hidden information that which helps us to take decision precisely, like estimation of sales, estimation of profits, estimation of losses, and also predicting student performance and many more. Coming to this paper, here the data mining is used to help less successful students to improve their academic performances. Like here, data mining is used to predict their GPS. If they have found that GPS are less after prediction, so the students can be aware and start preparing very rigorously for improving their GPS. The methods we use here is neural networks, SVM, and ELM algorithms. Coming to the data set, we have considered 127 undergrad students. Attributes are like they have considered two scenarios. In first scenarios, we take 24 subjects for 2 years and 38 subjects for 3 years. Here we can say how we calculate the GPS. There will be two exams in every semester. If the person gets A's in both the exams, he will be awarded with 4 GPA. If he gets C and B, he will be awarded 2.5, which is very less. Coming to the method, first method is neural networks. Neural networks is a mathematical methods which is capable of modeling extremely complex nonlinear methods by using biological terms called neurons. Here in this diagram we can say all these arrows were considered as a neurons. NNs are used for classification and also for regressions. In NN, we can predict the model without any assumption. We can use the data set to predict the model and the relationship of dependent variable with independent variable. Here, number of input layers depends upon the number of variables in the data set, and output layer is definitely our output. Here we consider the GPS. Hidden layer is that which is not a mathematical, but is just a like a visualizing. For example, when we want to connect a switchboard and a bulb, here input is considered as a switchboard and output is considered as a bulb. But and the hidden layer is a wires. In the same way, here the hidden layers are the connection between the input layer and output layers. What is support vector machines? Support vector machines in this model, we generalize the linear models and which performs the tasks of classifications and regressions like neural networks. But in this, the input data are converted into the highly dimensional feature space. You can see the diagrams and we can see the 2D diagram like red circles and blue stars. Here it is called as high dimensional features. Once these high dimensional features are drawn, then we need to insert the plane so that we can get in mathematical expressions of the plane. But we need to get mathematical expressions of hyperplane, so we need to find hyperplane. How can we find the hyperplane? The hyperplane means the plane that which has the maximum distance between both the inputs. Here we can see out of all the ACB planes, where we can see C plane has the highest distance between these two inputs, so we can consider C as an hyperplane. Later we can derive a mathematical expression that hyperplane, and we can calculate their GPAs. In extreme learning mission is nothing but a single layer feed of a neural network which was developed by Huang and Zhu and Xu. Here in this, once the input factors or input data are assigned randomly, then this hidden layer and output layers are calculated with inverse matrix. Once this and this hidden layers and output layers are considered as a least square models, that which will be very helpful in deriving the GPS of the students. Here, once we get the graph of the prediction and actual values of the first scenarios, and here we have taken the first scenarios, it means here we have taken 24 subjects. We can see that the prediction and actual have the much variations in NN methods, but in SVM method we can say there is a very less variations when we compare to N, and when we compare to N, ELM also have very less variations. Out of all these three methods, we can say SVM has the highest accuracy in prediction. When come to the second scenario where the 38 subjects are considered, we can say the variations have been decreased. Here we can see the variation at the fifth sample is not seen in the fifth sample of the second scenario. We can see there is this prediction model have very less variance than the first scenario. Out of all these models, NN, SVM and ELM, we can consider the SVM as the highest prediction model. Here the mathematical calculations of this model, we need to calculate the root mean square and covariance and correlation coefficient. When we place this into the table, we can see here in the first scenario, SVM has the least root mean square error, highest correlation coefficient and least covariance. It says that SVM has the highest good prediction method than NN and ELM. In the same way, when we consider the 38 3 years with the 38 course scores, here we can consider that root mean square error is highest in SVM and very the root mean square is very less in SVM, and the correlation coefficient is very high and covariance is very less. It says that SVM is better predicting model in this scenario. When you compare this both scenario, we can say that root mean square value is very decrease out of in the first scenarios. It says that from that we can draw the conclusion that when we increase in attributes, we can observe there is improved prediction for all the methods. And we can also say SVM is proven to the better model in estimating GPS of the student. And when we use the feature selection algorithm which we used in SVM, it can reduce the complexity of the prediction model. These are all the conclusions we have drawn. And thank you for giving me opportunity. Thank you. And any questions, please?